Um, Hello, I am Bernard Carter, and I would like to open the floor for questions.
What is the process that Rethink uses to involve or engage schools in the Rethink grading program?
So, Rethink basically asks the principal if they have permission to survey their students first. And if we've surveyed them before, we are more likely to get an opportunity to survey them. Sometimes we'd have an opportunity where a school would approach us. So it's more of a communicating with the school type thing because it cuts into their school time.
How can you join Rethink?
Well, you can join Rethink by in a Rethink school club, or we have citywide committees and other committees like we have architecture, digital media, restorative justice, and gardening.
But to actually get in Rethink, you'll have to talk to our director, Miss Dina, or Miss Rachel. Or you can go on our website and give donations and sign up.
How do y'all feel about the response that Mr. Altman had, saying that some of your recommendations are agreeable and some of them are not? So how does that make y'all feel, and how do y'all feel about your right as students to have your recommendations implemented? Do y'all feel like you're going to keep on fighting to get them implemented if there is resistance to you?
I definitely like half of the response and the other half. We'll work on that because that's what we do. We've been doing this for a while, and we know that it takes time. So like, and we know it takes time to get people to agree with everything, and so we'll definitely be holding their feet to the fire.
So we feel that if our recommendations aren't met, we feel that we should work even harder to get them met.
I just think that if we don't get all of our recommendations through, then that's okay, and we can just keep on trying. Because if we got some, then that's great, and we could just keep on trying next year.
Do Rethinkers have an appointment to actually sit down with the RSD schools to discuss your recommendations? And how often during the year would they allow the Rethinkers to do that? And will you guys who've been into the summer program get involved with that?
Well, do we?
So I do commit that we absolutely will sit down with the Rethinkers. We don't have a meeting scheduled yet. I just got the recommendations in this meeting. Give us an opportunity to work with Thina and the Rethinkers to figure out how to have those conversations. But absolutely we want to have them.
I'm just curious, how many of y'all went to the Seeds of Fire Youth Camp at Highlander, and what some of your recommendations were out of that? Okay, looks like y'all.
It was about 4 of us, including Bernard, and there were a couple of people from Bella that went, and that's it. Yeah.
We basically did a lot of training behind different forms of organizing, like cultural organizing, which involves talents, as you saw, singing, that type of thing. Yes.
So of the recommendations that y'all made today, which one do you think is the easiest to get implemented with your school board, and which one do you think will be the hardest to get implemented?
Well, I think the easiest would be to get restorative justice in all schools, so we can have, I'm going to do a little vote. Who will, raise your hand if you're like, peace with all youth.
What?
Peace with all youth, like, just peace with the youth. You see what I mean? You see? And the hardest,
I think the easiest will be the food justice in schools, and I think the hardest might be the certification because it's in the law, and secondary and elementary schools aren't required to, but we're going to fight for it anyway.
I want to say that I think recommendation number 7 would be the easiest, adopting community agreements in classrooms, because like I said, teachers and students can brainstorm instead of just going on with the school rules. Is they could brainstorm together and see what makes them feel safe and hold each other accountable in the classroom.